Kickoff is brought to you by Community First Credit Union, Winn-Dixie, Baptist Health, Bowden Eye and Associates, Brumos Automotive, and Coastal Spine and Pain Center.
Hello and welcome into Armada Kickoff. This week the Armada have been a disappointed team, but also a determined team after losing 4-0 to Carolina on Saturday night at home. We'll hear from some of the players and head coach Guillermo Hoyos on how the team plans to bounce back Sunday against Ottawa.
We'll also profile Sebastian Evers, the third goalkeeper for the Armada and a player Armada officials have high hopes for in the future. Plus, the analyst roundtable, and of course, Bob Veal joins us for Bob's Boot Room.
But let's start with a rare, rough night at home for the Armada. After a 3-0 loss on Wednesday in the U.S. Open Cup, General Manager Dario Sala told me that it was the worst performance in the short history of the Armada. But a return to Northeast Florida, where the team had not lost in the regular season, seemed to offer some promise of redemption. The Armada entered Saturday night's match with Carolina still in contention for the spring season championship. Great crowd on hand. In fact, the first official sellout at Community First Park, over 8,500 there to watch the Armada. After possessing the ball for most of the first 8 minutes, this. Carolina's defender Connor Tobin heads it in. His first goal as a member of the RailHawks made it 1-0. Just not enough men marking the white shirts in the box. Tobin makes the Armada pay. Later, Matt Boehner finds Jaime Castrillon. Then to Boche Hoyos, but the save by Akira Fitzgerald. Still a 1-0 Carolina lead. 36th minute now, same score. Ball deflected out high, and it comes onto the foot of Neil Lavati, who just places it perfectly in the upper corner of the net. It's 2-0 RailHawks. Not much Miguel Gallardo could do about that one, but sure changed the tenor of the match. After that, 2 more Carolina goals in the first half. Continue to make it a rough afternoon at Community First Park. Off the free kick, Leo Osaki. Gallardo seemed to lean the wrong way on it, and it's 3-0. Guillermo Hoyos looking for some answers in this one. Take another look at the free kick. You can see Gallardo just on the wrong foot as the ball went to the far post. Then just before the end of the half, is this a foul? Looks like Trejo gets the ball. Pascal Million can't believe it. Maybe a little clip of the back of the heels on Pascal. Take a closer look here. Pascal just waiting for it. Look at Million. Does he get the heels, or is it a bit of a dive? Well, that sets up the penalty kick for Carolina, and Mark Anderson will take it and make it 4-0. Carolina entered the match having scored 10 goals all season. They score 4 in the first half against the Armada. From there, Carolina just played defense. The Armada had a few chances in the second half, but could not convert. Carolina rises to second in the table. The Armada fall to 5th and are out of the hunt for the spring championship after a disappointing first ever home loss in the North American Soccer League.
Feeling like we've let the city down, but I mean, we've got to keep positive, and just like Pascal just said, and look at how many people have come out to watch us play tonight. It's great to see, but we always want to do better. So
I think we want it so bad, and then we forget that the other team can play too. And then that costs us, play a team who's right behind us, was right behind us. They wanted to, So they lost the game on Wednesday like we did, But you see the second half is completely different, But what can we do? We just have to go back to the lab and find a solution. The coaches said, right, we have to stay strong. There's a moment now we have to stay strong. 2 games. I believe in my team. I believe in the rest of the guys. I know we can do it. We just got to stay focused.
And you take a look at the stats. Shots just about even. RailHawks had a couple more shots on goal. The Armada dominated in terms of corner kicks, but just couldn't do anything with them. Fouls were even, and we'll keep an eye on the yellow cards. Lucas Scaglia, now 1 yellow card away from a match suspension. Fabricio Ortiz, who already served a match suspension, got another one, so he's 2 away in the NASL. The 8th yellow card also results in a match suspension.
The fair and fair man of the match went to Haitian forward Pascal Million. Not only did Million show great attitude on the field, but off the field as well. Always staying positive, Million plays a key role in the Armada attack and on the team. Several great runs for Million in both halves, including this one during the first half of the match, where he turned on his jets to go past the Carolina defender just enough to get the Armada a corner kick. Million has 2 goals so far this spring season. Well, the spring season is coming to an end. The Armada play their last home match of the spring this Sunday against Ottawa Fury. Remember, kickoff time is a little bit different. It's set for 4 p.m. They then wrap up the spring in New York against the Cosmos for a Saturday match kicking off at 7 p.m. And after just a couple of weeks, the fall action starts on July 5th in Ottawa with kickoff at 3 p.m. And here's a fact you might like to know. 2 teams in the NASL average over 10,000 fans per match. Indy 11, and yes, you guessed it, the Jacksonville Armada. This also includes the record-setting crowd in the season opener against FC Edmonton, not to mention the first sellout crowd at Community First Park last weekend against the Carolina RailHawks. Not a bad first year for the club. The loss to Carolina ended the Armada's dreams of a championship in their first spring season. But how do they bounce back? That's the question Cole asked this past week.
It's an 8-day stretch that most on the Armada would just as soon forget. Losses on the road at Minnesota and in the U.S. Open Cup against Richmond, and for the first time ever in front of the home crowd at Community First Park.
Yeah, certainly it was a rough week, but you're going to have those ups and downs. The other teams in the NSL are very good, and when we make a mistake here or there, we're getting punished, and they're finishing every chance that they get. But as far as us fixing that problem, I don't think there's one specific thing. I just think it's all a collective group, from the front to the back.
Head coach Guillermo Hoyo says the time the team spent traveling together should pay dividends down the road.
Es un poco contradictorio, ¿no? Porque ha sido una semana de resultados negativos, pero que ha sido una semana en la cual hemos compartido, hemos estado juntos, en este caso en Minneapolis, y cuando fuimos a jugar la Copa, y realmente, bueno, no nos ha salido el resultado, pero el equipo no está mal, está bien, y anímicamente lo veo fuerte y convencido de lo que podemos hacer.
We did 250 passes against Fort Lauderdale, the second game of the season, and in the first 20 or 30 minutes in the first half we got 450. Obviously we conceded 4 goals. I'm not here to tell that was pretty at all, that is a Armada want to try to be the role model to follow.
We really just gotta keep working. Like I said, everything's a process. We just grind it. That's what you have to do as an athlete. Is when things get tough, you just have to go back out there and grind it out.
What we're aiming is really big. The dream is massive. To play the football we're trying is something that will be rewarded, but we have to get through difficult times as well.
The Armada opened the season by beating FC Edmonton, who ventured down from Canada for the inaugural NASL match. This week it's the other Canadian team, the Ottawa Fury, who come to town. Ottawa enters in 7th place on the table, 2 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. Their 2 wins came at home against Minnesota United in April. That's a good win. And 2 weeks ago at home against Indy, when they scored in the 88th minute, the only goal of the match. This is Ottawa's 2nd year in the league. They finished 6th in the spring, 9th in the fall last year. In 8 matches this season, they've conceded only 8 goals, but the Fury really searching for the net. They've scored only 5 goals all season long. One of the younger members of the Armada roster is 23-year-old Sebastian Evers. He's the 3rd goalkeeper for the team and joins Miguel Gallardo and David Sierra. Krissty Andaur tells us more.
A former UCF Knight, Sebastian Evers joined the Armada FC roster this preseason. Not a bad first job out of college.
Experience has been amazing. I mean, transitioning straight from college to this level of play is, it was a big transition. So every day I'm learning more and more from all the guys that I have around me, and especially the coaches who are top level coaches, and, learning how to be in this environment day in, day out, and, working every day to be better and better, and hopefully get my chance soon.
Evers hasn't played in a competitive match since late in the preseason against JU, so how does he stay sharp?
It's hard. It's more mental than physical. I feel like mentally, I know I'm in a process and I have to, evolve to, better and better level, every day and every week really. And I have to, physically, I have to try to be better than my competition and be the best. I personally want to be the best on the team, physically, mentally, and soccer-wise.
With Sunday's match being the final home match of the spring, now is the time to make plans to join the Armada in the fall. You can purchase a fall season ticket starting Monday. You'll get every NASL home match in the fall season. That's 10 matches at Community First Park from as low as $10 per match. And you can still get the benefits of season ticket ownership. Call 844-2-ARMADA or purchase online at armadafc.com. Straight ahead, news of a coach being fired in the NASL, and the New York Cosmos make a historic trip to Cuba. We have the highlights.
And Bob Veal joins us for Bob's Boot Room. Stick around, more Armada Kickoff is straight ahead.
All right, tickets for Sunday's match are available from as low as $14 a seat. It is Teacher Appreciation Day. There will be over 2,000 educators being honored at the match. There are fewer than 1,000 tickets remaining as of earlier this week. So don't wait. Call 844-2-ARMADA or go online to armadafc.com. With just 2 weeks remaining in the spring season, last place Indy 11 made a move this week. They fired the only coach they've ever had, Jürgen Sommer. That move came after an amazing finish to Indy's match. Let's start, though, with our look around the North American Soccer League with first place against second place. Minnesota United trailing the New York Cosmos by 6 points, a chance to gain 3 on New York if the United could win at home. 8th minute, a free kick opportunity right here, and Pablo Campos heads it home. His 4th goal of the spring. That's tied for the league lead. Minnesota up 1-0. Just taking a little great job by Campos. It would remain 1-0 until the 90th minute when the great Raul gets the equalizer for the Cosmos. 1-1 draw means that the Cosmos can clinch this weekend even though they are on their bye week. Rain delayed much of the match as you take a look at Raul's left-footed action there. Rain delayed much of the action between Indy and Tampa. 68th minute, scoreless until Maicon Santos scores off the corner, giving the Rowdies a 2-1 lead. It's the 3rd goal of the year for Santos, and it looked like Tampa would take 3 points, but the final moments of stoppage time, Indy's Kyle Hyland with a strike at the last possible moment from distance. Amazing goal, and it earns Indy the draw, but as we mentioned, it was not enough to keep Jürgen Sommers employed as Indy's head coach. He was let go after the match. San Antonio hosting Fort Lauderdale. 21st minute, Joseph Nane's first NASL goal gives the Scorpions the lead. San Antonio on top, but just before halftime, the Strikers would level things. James Marceline takes the feed on the through ball and unselfishly feeds it off for Stefano Pino. First goal in 3 league matches for the Strikers. Match ends in a 1-1 draw. Finally, the Cosmos played on Tuesday afternoon in Cuba against the Cuban national team. First time since 1978 that an American soccer team has played in Cuba. Cosmos won at 4-1. Lucky Kosana scoring twice for the Cosmos. The game was nationally televised. Yet another step forward for the North American Soccer League. So here's the league table after last week's action. Cosmos on top. You see the teams with the asterisks still have an opportunity to make it to the postseason. Carolina, despite being in second position, they don't have a game in hand, so they can't make up that ground. Only Minnesota and Tampa can match the Cosmos. If either one of those two fail to win each of the last 2 matches, or if the Cosmos beat the Armada in the final week of the season, or even draw, the Cosmos will win the spring title. You see the bottom half of the standings here. Ottawa comes in 9 points, just a point behind the Armada for this week's match. And San Antonio and Indy continue to bring up the bottom of the table for the North American Soccer League. Now let's head to Bob's Boot Room, presented by Nike. Here are Bob Veal and Krissty Andaur.
Thanks, Cole. Bob, a tough couple of weeks for the Armada since they haven't gained any points since their draw against Atlanta back in May. A lot of that has to do with defensive mistakes.
Yeah, let's look at some of those. Let's look at the first clip, which was the first goal. This is a great little chip over the top. 1 Armada player there, 3 RailHawks all around him. Nobody got to the header at all. And this is it in replay. So let's get to the second clip. And this is what I call, we're knocking it around there really well, but we're not moving into space.
We're not moving forward at all.
There's nobody moving into the gaps. They're just knocking it around the back. And why are they doing that? Because nobody's moving up front. They're just walking. 1 or 2 walking or little jogs, no diagonal runs, no running into space at all. So let's get on. This is where we play possession soccer, and the RailHawks have got so many people back behind the ball. At this stage, we're 2-0 down, and they've loaded that defense, and we just have to pass it back. We have no system of getting through that defensive barrier. Let's move on to one more.
Oh, the free kick.
This is the free kick. This is a goalkeeping error. Just as he's taken that free kick there, you'll see the goalkeeper move to the right, puts him off balance, they knock it into the left.
Which I was so confused. Why did he move to the right?
He didn't need to. The wall covers that side, he covers the left side. If he'd lined the wall up properly, that would not have been a goal. And let's look at the second half. This is a great through ball from Scaglia to Castrion. Now, what I love about that, direct soccer, no knocking it around in the middle of the field. It was a direct ball in, he made the run, great save.
So Bob, what do you expect here and you hope to see on Sunday?
I'd like them to make different plays, the long balls into the forwards, breaking down the gaps. I'd like them to get forward to break those gaps down, and we're not doing that at the moment.
Okay, thanks so much, Bob. The Armada played their last home match this Sunday against the Ottawa Fury. Cole?
All right, thanks, guys. Straight ahead, David Hayes and Mauricio Ruiz join the roundtable to talk about how the Armada bounced back and what Sepp Blatter's resignation means for the soccer world. Stick around. Armada Kickoff rolls on.
The Armada Social Rewards program is a great way to stay connected with the team via social media. Just go online at armadasocialrewards.com, create an account, and start earning free gifts. Like, tweet, tag, and start earning those points. Each week, we pick a random winner, and congratulations to Rebecca Garrett. You've won 2 tickets to the first ever fall match for the Armada against the New York Cosmos on July 18th. And now let's head over to the roundtable presented by Subway. Cole?
Players that you can switch around, and we're going to be very strong.
We saw a lot of different players, a lot of different lineups.
All right, thank you, Krissty. Yeah, time now for the analyst roundtable. We've got Mauricio Ruiz and David Hayes. All right, guys, let's first start with what the Armada have to do to snap out of this scoring drought. It's been 2 games plus that they've been without a goal. David, what has to happen?
I mean, I think they have to get back to doing the little things. At the beginning of the season, they all got behind the ball, they all worked, and they all moved up together. They transitioned back together, and they transitioned forward, and they put numbers in both areas of the field, and that created more scoring opportunities. I think we need to get back to that.
Yeah, I think so too. Obviously, the absence of Keita really messes up a little bit of what had brought success early in the season, but you still have very capable players on the pitch, and I would just like to see Flores be a little bit more holding to his position rather than kind of move all over the place like Keita was doing before, but he's so dynamic, he was capable of doing that. Now you have to emerge your lineup a little bit more to the personnel that you have.
So are you more concerned about the lack of offense or some of the defensive breakdowns?
I'm still concerned with the defensive breakdowns. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are offensively. If we're that wide open in the back as we have been so far, and we have been since the beginning of the season, now you're not scoring as many goals, then the defending can really kind of gets magnified a little bit more, right?
Absolutely. I mean, when you go down a goal, you're chasing games. You never want to chase games, right? But I mean, we're not doing well defensively as a unit. At the beginning of the season, we were all getting behind the ball, and now we're not, and we're leaving holes. And whether you go from a 3-4-3 to a 4-3-3 to a 3-4-3, it all, to me, it's all attacking. And I think we need to change up what we're doing. I think we need to get behind the ball again, back to basics.
All right, let's turn our attention to what has to be the biggest, maybe the biggest sports story right now, certainly the biggest story in soccer. That is Sepp Blatter, the head of FIFA, after getting elected for another term, decides he's stepping down. What kind of impact is this going to have on the soccer world?
Well, you would have to imagine that after this, the 72 hours period, that something else is going to keep coming up, right? I mean, you don't get reelected and then you step down. I think the impact that it's bringing whatever problems there are that everyone kind of knew about it's going to bring them to light. And hopefully, I think the replacement process, it's going to be interesting. Is it going to be somebody from within still that has their hands as corrupted and as dirty, or is it going to be a brand new start? That's what I'm looking forward to see.
Absolutely. Something else is going to surface, right? I mean, you can't be ahead. I mean, anywhere you have billions of dollars at stake, there's corruption somewhere, I feel. And so he was heading it up, and he should step down.
Mauricio Ruiz, David Hayes, thanks so much. Straight ahead, it's the goals of the month of May. Stick around. More Armada Kickoff straight ahead.
Single match tickets are always on sale. For just $14 per match, you get to see the Armada FC in action at Community First Park. The last home match of the spring season is this Sunday against the Ottawa Fury. Remember that kickoff time is 4 p.m. It's also Teacher Appreciation Day, and there's going to be special messages from Armada FC players. So don't be left outside the park. Call 844-2ARMADA or online at armadafc.com. Let's head into the social media world where Armada players and fans are active every single day. Todd, an Armada fan, says the score doesn't matter as his son smiles and takes a photo with Marcos Flores, who later apologizes for not being able to hide his sadness. Section 904 member James tweeted his great photo from last Saturday's match with a banner that said, "With you until the end." Another fan, Tad, shared his photo on Twitter of the perfect weather for some Armada football. And Pascal Million, always staying positive, Instagrammed this quote to share with everyone, and it read, "If you have a family that loves you, a few good friends, and a roof over your head, you are richer than you think." I mean, Cole, how can you not love this guy?
He's a great attitude. We've talked about it. Just such a positive energy guy, great attitude. And a heck of a soccer player, too, by the way.
Which we're going to be able to see this Sunday against Ottawa Fury.
That's right. Our coverage begins at 3:30 on Sunday. Kickoff at 4 o'clock here on CW17. Pre-match party, by the way, starts at 1:30 at Community First Park. Remember, you can get the latest on the Armada online on ArmadaFC.com. On radio, the Armada Soccer Show, Fridays at 3 on Sports Radio 930. You can also hear the Armada Monday podcast with Bob Veal and me every Monday on ArmadaFC.com.
And check out the Jacksonville Armada FC channel on YouTube. You'll find every goal scored in the month of May just posted. We leave you with a taste of those goals. Thanks for watching. I'm Krissty Andaur.
And I'm Cole Pepper. See you next time.